Hello everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to race number 30 of Season 4 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series / Chase Race number 4. I am Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Bank of America 500 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway as we are getting set for 45 laps of racing here at this retroactive 1994 version of this classic mile-and-a-half racetrack. But before we take a look at the starting lineup, we gotta take a look at the chase points as they come into today's race. So after last week at Talladega, Joshua Sekuli extended his points lead to 11 points over new second place driver Johnny Gardner. Third, 14 points out, is Tim Fiegel. 24 points out is James Qualls. 33 points behind is Dylan Poteet. 42 points behind James McLeod. 43 points behind is William Brock. 46 points behind is Zach Flickinger. 50 points behind is Dylan Young. 52 points behind is Dylan Jacobs. 56 points behind is Sean Galligan. 61 points behind is our pole sitter for tonight, Kyle Matthews. 64 points behind is Chris Dollerton, and 67 points behind is Raphael Leduc. But with that being said, let's take a look at the starting lineup. Starting in the last row is Chris Dollerton and Seth Cole. Top 10, Kyle Matthews on the pole with Sean Galligan starting second. Row 2 is Carson Gum, Joshua Sekuli. Row 3, Joshua Collar, Devin Becker. Row 4 is Retro Racing Enterprise teammates Jessica Sheldon, Charles Sanford. And then row 5, Charles Belding and Matt Haas. But let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines for the Bank of America 500 at Charlotte.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 42 cars rolling on the racetrack for their one pace lap, and I see Seth Cole kind of get the wall a little bit early on. I don't know if he oversteered the car or understeered it, I don't know. But this will be an interesting race considering it is a shorter race than what we had earlier this season with the Coca-Cola 600. So you can definitely tell there's going to be a lot more aggression on display here in the race tonight. Kyle Matthews, his first pole of the season. He's looking to get some redemption as the pace car pulls in the pit road, and it's time to boogity, 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 go racing. Carson Gum got to lead the first lap here tonight, but underneath here comes Joshua Collard. But it looks like the outside lane's going to get the bigger run here in turn 2. So it looks like here in the early going of this run, we're going to see the high side take over and turn off of turn 2. But here off of turn 4, it's the bottom lane that gets the big run. So we're going to see some strategy in play for a lot of these drivers to make moves. Let's see if Kyle Matthews can run the bottom and get by Carson Gum. Helicopter camera shows no, he won't. So he's going to fall back a little bit as he's got both or two of the Richard Petty Motorsports drivers right behind him, Joshua Collard and Sean Galligan. But Kyle Matthews gonna hang on to second for now, but Galligan gonna try and get that bottom lane going, but Again, the outside gets the better run in turns 1 and 2. Now Kyle Matthews has a steady holding in second as Carson Gum has so far led every single lap here in the early going of the Bank of America 500, and been now a battle for second as Joshua Collard's got a run underneath Kyle Matthews for position. And he does beat him to the line to take that spot, as Collard now trying to work the bottom to get that run on Carson Gum. But it almost looks like in 1 and 2, the cars on the bottom have to let off the gas a little bit earlier than the guys on the top side. But nonetheless, Carson Gum still hanging on strong in the lead. Meanwhile, here comes another driver coming up for second. Devin Becker in the 15 as he's stuck in the middle of a RPM sandwich, but gets that run on the middle groove to try and get by Sean Galligan, and Devin Becker could make a run for the lead. Here he comes with help from Kyle Matthews. Devin Becker, the rookie out of Michael Waltrip Racing, he's now on the bottom and has led that lap. So the first big lead change of the night. Devin Becker takes the lead over from Carson Gum. Kyle Matthews still running in second right now. As meanwhile, we are seeing a little bit of shuffling up here at the front, as here comes a couple of new contenders. Charles Sanford in the 03's up here. Right behind him, Matt Haas in the 79. And now Kyle Matthews. Let's see if the bottom lane is now kicking in, because we've had some laps on these tires running that groove. No, the outside still has that run by about 3-4 miles per hour, but Matthews still got his nose underneath, so he's going to get the advantage here off of turn 4 to retake the lead that he had on lap 1 before Carson Gum took it from him. So Kyle Matthews will finally get that extra bonus point he needed to lead that lap. Devin Becker using the outside to go by Matt Haas, and is trying to get around Charles Sanford, but Charles Sanford is going to have that run on the bottom here off of 4. But Matt Haas, he's trying to follow the 03 of Sanford to try and get him up there. But I see a couple of cars starting to make charges up here into the top 10. I see Joshua Michaels in the 97. He's trying to crack his way into the top 10 right now. And then a couple of chasers, Dylan Poteet and Dylan Jacobs, who I believe started around mid-pack. They're almost into the top 10 as well. Charles Sanford trying to run the bottom as Charles is trying to get that bottom lane to work in 1 and 2, but doesn't make it work. At least not just yet. 3 wide I see between Dylan Jacobs, Jessica Sheldon, and Cody Lamas. This could be dangerous because 3 wide's somewhat tricky here at Charlotte, because we've always had wrecks occur as a result of going 3 wide. But so far these drivers have been doing a great job of racing clean and giving each other plenty of room to maneuver around traffic when they have to. As Kyle Matthews is now starting to pull away a little bit from second place Carson Gum. As meanwhile, Carson Gum has got a challenger for second, Joshua Collard, who's been so far in the top 5 pretty much all race long. But a couple of other new top contenders, including the points leader, Joshua Sekuli in the 82. As he fell back a little bit in the early going of the race, but has now found himself trying to work his way back up there. And now here comes Carson Gum to retake the race lead from Kyle Matthews. Question is, will the bottom lane help him or hinder him here in 1 and 2? And it looks like It helped him for the time being, but Matthews got that bigger run on the outside, and now Kyle going for a crossover move. Excellent pass here by Kyle Matthews. Was on the outside, and then off of turn 2, goes to the bottom, and back to the lead he goes. Carson Gum going to do the exact same thing that Joshua Collard that he got from Kyle Matthews just a lap ago. Got stuck on the outside, then went to the bottom. Couple other top or new-coming contenders up here. DJ Curtis in the 4 car, Phil Parker, and Rafael LeDuc. Rafael LeDuc is one of the few chase drivers who desperately, and I mean desperately, needs to get some good finishes to get himself back into the hunt for the championship. Rafael LeDuc, like I said, is dead last in the chase standings. 67 points, I believe I said. 67 points behind the points leader, Joshua Sekuli, who is ahead of him right now. So if he's going to gain any ground on points, he's going to have to get around that 82 car, which won't be easy considering how, like I said, 1 and 2, it's the outside. 3 and 4, it's the inside that works. And we are approaching halfway here in about 5 to 6 laps. And when we get to the halfway point, that will be when we take our commercial break for the race. As Kyle Matthews, huge run off the outside to stay clear of the 19 of Carson Gum. Got a few cars that have fallen back. William Brock, Dorian Facepuncher, and Emmanuel Hartnett. No damage on those cars. Maybe they just lost the pack, and that's why they have fallen back so far. Sean Galligan, who was a top 5 front runner in the first part of the race, he has fallen back. Last scored in 20th. As a lot of drivers are trying to make up some ground after being stuck on the outside in 1 and 2, or in 3 and 4 I meant, and being stuck on the bottom in 1 and 2. Oh, and we got a crash, and it's a big wreck. Big wreck and a car upside down. That's James McLeod, one of the chase contenders. Goes upside down and gets hit by James Qualls, who didn't see him coming back down. A couple of top chase contenders. The big one being James Qualls, 4th in points, was in it. Zach Flickinger, another chaser, was caught up in it. So far out of all the cars involved, it looks like Galligan got a little piece of it himself. So about 3 to 4 chasers were caught up in this big wreck on the front straightaway. As we just got to the halfway point of the race, or getting to the halfway point, Kyle Matthews still has the race lead. But you gotta wonder if these guys are gonna come into pit road, because they were bound to come into pit road at some point to top off on fuel and get fresh tires. And it looks like they are coming in. Some are taking a higher road, some hitting that commitment cone. Not sure if NNSCRA officials are gonna like that. But it looks like everyone is coming down the pit road. I don't see anybody staying out, which I think is the smart move considering what has just transpired here at Charlotte. Joshua Collard looked like he got some damage in that wreck. Some cosmetic damage, more or less. But let's see who comes out first. It looks like it's going to be Matthews. Well, maybe, I don't know. I think it still is going to be Matthews. Sanford just got faster there. But I believe it's going to be Matthews, Sanford, Gum, Becker, and Curtis, the top 5. But let's go ahead and take you to the replay of what brought the caution out for the first time tonight here at Charlotte. My biggest fear going into this race happened. 3 wide in turns 3 and 4. It looks like Charles Belding was like the meat in the sandwich between Jessica Sheldon and Sean Galligan, had nowhere to go. And then as they all spin, they come back up the racetrack, collect guys like Patrick Smith, Ashland Boyd. They all get caught up in it. But watch McLeod. Oh, he got hit by Qualls before he got hit by him again. And then a big hit from Jay Jefferson. 51 went for that wild ride, and Ashland Boyd hit the wall hard 3 times. So that was a pretty major impact there. 3 times for the 10 car. Let's actually go back and watch his involvement in this wreck. First, he gets turned up into Belding. There was the first big hit from Jake Baskinger. And then he's going to get hit pretty hard right there by Shears, and that's what shot him back up the track. Hard rear end first into the outside wall, and then a hit again when McLeod was sliding up the racetrack upside down. But yeah, Qualls was the one who actually initially caused the 51 to go upside down, and then you're going to see him hit the 51 again as he slides down in front of him, and it hit him reverse barrel roll style, but it put the 51 back on all 4 tires. Benjamin Miles got a chunk of that mess as well. So a lot of top race contenders and chase contenders were involved in this. So this is going to shake up the point standings a little bit, but we're going to take you to the restart here at Charlotte. Well, after that big one that just ensued, 4 cars are officially done for the night, and they include Patrick Smith, James McLeod, Ashland Boyd, and James Qualls. Everyone else got repaired or still going to continue, so we got 38 cars on track, 36 on the lead lap. Zach Flickinger trying to get caught back up to the pack. But anyways, Kyle Matthews is still your race leader. Second is Charles Sanford, his teammate. Third is Carson Gump. Fourth, Devin Becker. Fifth is DJ Curtis. Sixth is Joshua Cooley. Seventh, Phil Parker. Eighth, Rafael LeDuc. Ninth, Matt McIntyre. 10th, Dylan Jacobs. And then 11th is Dylan Young. 12th, Dylan Poteet. 13th, Paul Minnick. 14th, Preston Plore. 15th, Joshua Michaels. 16th, Zachary Fitzwater. 17th, Dylan Thoreau. 18th, Jessica Sheldon. 19th, Matt Haas. 20th is Chris Dollarton. As the green flag is getting ready to wave, 21 laps to go, and in about 2 laps will be when we take our commercial break. 21 to go here at Charlotte in the Bank of America 500. Already Kyle Matthews pulls away to a sizable lead, and it looks like the bottom lane is going to start kicking in now all over the place, because Carson Gum has just gone by Charles Sanford running the bottom. That or Sanford is running into some sort of issue, and his race car is just not that fast. But I think it's just because now the inside's starting to kick in, but we'll see for sure, as here comes Carson once again on the bottom to try and take the lead from Matthews. And the outside can still hang in, but the bottom lane is definitely keeping up. But now Matthews is going to get clear of the 15. So now I think it was because Sanford had a bad restart there, and that's how the 19 managed to get on by. But let's see if Matthews can work the bottom. And then when we get to the line next time, as Zach Flickinger is now coming out of pit road, once we get across the line here, will be when we take our commercial break. But it looks like Carson Gum's going to hang on to the lead for the time being. As we're getting ready to come off of turn 4, stick around, keep watching. The live action will be on the bottom of your screen, but we're taking a commercial break. We'll be right back. What? I'm just sitting here eating Chinese food. Big whoop, you want to fight about it? I mean, it's delicious, but I'm not going to lose my mind like this idiot did. Look at this Chinese food! Oh! So yeah, go get you some Chinese food today, mister. Or missus. Or whatever you are. Hey you! Are you tired of watching stupid YouTubers like the Paul brothers?
Yeah!
Well then, check out the Kamikaze Games YouTube channel. If you want to watch classic gameplay videos like these...
Fucking stupid cocksucking apron! Why is that a thing?! The fucking banana peels are real! Oh, I'm shitting out bananas everywhere I go!
If you want to see racing videos like these...
Can there be one good race this year? That's all I fucking ask.
Ty Dillon's called me out! Oh man!
Worthless ass, shitty fucking racing package. Get this shit the fuck away from anywhere near the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series.
It's the same song and dance every single week. Why do I even care? It's so fucking dumb.
Or if you want to watch classic raging like these...
It was the god damn motherfucking engine of everything!
You did no research! Goddamn fucking Joey Logano won the goddamn fucking Daytona 500! Fuck! 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 Ah! 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 Are you fucking serious? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Are you fucking serious? God fucking damn it, Matt Tift! You fucking absolute failure of a fucking driver! You can't fucking drive! No! 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 Fuck you! Ah!
Then what are you doing? Go check out the Kamikaze Games YouTube channel. To find the Kamikaze Games YouTube channel, just go to youtube.com and type in the search bar Kamikaze Games. That is spelled Kamikazegames. Check him out right now, otherwise he will come to your house and punch you in the face. That is Kamikaze Games. Kamikaze Games. I'm so glad I found this guy. He cracks me up. Thank you. Thank you, YouTube masters. Okay, let's see what we got to drink. Ah, fucking perfect. Ah, some good old Powerade. Delicious. No, not really. Powerade, the most overrated drink ever made. Go to your local store and see for yourself. Welcome back to live action here in the Bank of America 500 at Charlotte Motor Speedway as we are coming to 10 laps to go. And as you guys must have seen on the bottom of your screen in the side-by-side, lap traffic has just changed the complexity of this race. A lot of the dominant cars of the race have fallen back. And the new leader right now is Devin Becker. And right behind him, Paul Minnick second. Preston Plord in third, Rafael LeDuc fourth, and Dylan Jacobs fifth. So particularly the 24, the 9, the 78, and the 77 benefited from lap traffic causing a shakeup in the field. And now we got another new leader, Paul Minnick in the 9 car. He has now gone up to the front here. As meanwhile, Charles Sanford trying to work the bottom to get around both of those Furniture Row racing cars. But back up here at the front, Devin Becker trying to work the bottom to take the lead back. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Minnick's going to hang on for now. Oh, but look at Rafael LeDuc go for the crossover as he's going to try and take third away from Preston Plord in the 24 car. And now trying to work the bottom to get around Devin Becker for second, but it looks like they're going to have 2 more slow cars to deal with. Jake Baskinger and Matt Haas, so this could shake up things even further. Meanwhile, Devin Becker now got a run on the inside. of Paul Menniken is going to try and retake that top spot on the racetrack. But now they are rapidly approaching Baskinger and Haas. And now here comes Preston Plord with the run on the inside to try and get the lead. But again, the outside's going to get the bigger run. So let's see how these guys are going to be able to maneuver around the slower cars. Oh, Matt Haas! Oh, man, that was close. I thought we were going to have a wreck right there because of the 79, but no, we somehow still good to go. But now it looks like they are going to approach Benjamin Miles after they get through Baskinger here, as the outside lane's getting held up as a result by 2 cars now. But then the next set of cars they're going to have to get around is the 87, the 5, and the 1, who they have already encountered, as they are going way slower. But a lot of other drivers who have just benefited from this, like Pichu London's now suddenly in the top 10, I believe. But man, the guy who got robbed the most out of this ordeal was Kyle Matthews. He was one of the dominant cars of the night, and now he's going to get screwed out of a win because of lap traffic. Side by side still for the lead between Becker and Plord, and behind them side by side between Curtis and LeDuc, Gum and Young, as it's 2 by 2 for 4 rows deep. But Preston going to get that run off the outside. But yes, they are coming up to the 87 and the 1 cars. So this could really shake things up big. Look at Rafael LeDuc go on the bottom. Side by side. Oh, but they take each other out. They take each other out. Phil Parker gets involved. Oh, man, this is going to be dangerous. Dylan Jacobs hard hit and now goes for multiple barrel rolls into the catch fence high up in the air. Vicious crash. Oh, and then a hard hit for Phil Parker. Parker continuing to get hit. The big one, number 2, has struck. And I have no idea who's leading. I believe it was Becker, and we're coming to 2 laps to go. We're going to real quick try and get to the replay of what brought the caution out for the final time tonight here at Charlotte for a brutal wreck here off of turn 4. Man, that was vicious. Looks like a very similar deal to the first caution. However, this time it looks like Rafael LeDuc just runs Preston Plord out of room and up into Jay Jefferson, who was already slow. And because they were all spinning and sideways, they end up blocking traffic. And then first of the car that gets hit from this twice is Phil Parker. But then watch, as my phone goes off, but then watch Dylan Jacobs hard into Phil Parker, then hit by Johnny Gardner, and this is what's going to send the 78 car for a very wild ride, probably the wildest ride we've seen all season. Barrel rolls up the racetrack into the catch fence and then goes even higher up into the air. As Zachary Fitzwater, he ended up getting turned. But then you're going to see as Phil Parker sitting on the racetrack, you're going to see more cars come into this mess and make it an even bigger ordeal. And it looks like the first car that gets there is Chris Dollarton, as Parker gets hit very hard. And then Dollarton went into the 78 and they both go up in the air. And then right there, Seth Cole hard hit. So Phil Parker got hit hard multiple times after the fact of his car being completely destroyed. But let's go back to the 78, because once the 78 hit the 09 was when all the true mayhem, no pun intended to the band. But let's watch and count the amount of barrel rolls the 78 goes for. So he's starting here. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. He goes flipping over 10 times. And that is probably arguably has been the most wild ride I think we've seen all season. Flips, hits the catch fence, driver's side and roof first. And then right there, he takes a hard lick from when Dollarton hit the 09 of Parker, which sent him ricocheting into the 78. But man, a lot of cars that were running so strong ends up taken out after two cars battling at the front of the field end up colliding into one another, kickstarting this wreck. But let's take you to the checkered flag here at Charlotte. Well, the checkered flag is waving, and Devin Becker wins the Bank of America 500 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. After mayhem ensued with 3 laps to go, and just completely shook up the field as a result. But Devin Becker managed to benefit from everything that happened to get, I believe this is his first win of his career in this series. So congratulations to the 15 car for the win here at Charlotte. But let's look at the rest of the results. DJ Curtis with a finish out of nowhere in second. Carson Gum, one of the 2 dominant cars of the race, manages to come back to get third. Dylan Potee with a solid run in fourth and was the highest finishing chaser. And then right behind him with a good comeback run, Sean Galligan in 5th. Dylan Young with a great run in the 6th position. Emmanuel Hardnett with a solid performance in 7th. Peachy London with a great run in 8th. Cody Lamas, we didn't talk about him all night, finishes 9th. And the points leader, who will most likely remain the points leader heading into Sawmill next week, is Joshua Sekuli. The rest of the top 20 was Matt McIntyre, Charles Sanford, Preston Plord, Joshua Michaels, Dorian Facepuncher, Joshua Collard, William Brock, Jessica Sheldon, Tim Fiegel. And then the last car to finish on the lead lap was Alex Ferranti. And then everyone in between are wrecked or 1 or more laps down. And they were Jake Baskinger, Matt Haas, Charles Belding, Trent Dunham, Kyle Matthews, Dylan Thoreau, Phil Parker, Jay Jefferson, Dougie Shears, Dylan Jacobs, did I say Rafael Leduc? Or no, we haven't got to him yet. Well, wait a minute. Oh, he was 14th. Never mind. I was going to say I thought I forgot about him. But anyways, Dylan Jacobs, Johnny Gardner, Paul Minnick, Zachary Fitzwater, Chris Dollarton, Seth Cole, Benjamin Miles, Zach Flickinger, Patrick Smith, James McLeod, James Qualls, and Ashwin Boyd. So that was the finishing results here at Charlotte. 2 big wrecks, but overall still a great race. But next week we go back to road course racing as we head over to Sawmill Speedway for the Carhartt 200. But until then, here are your results: rookie points, chase points, and regular points heading into Sawmill. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.